Hi everyone, so welcome to another live video. It's very early. So today we're going to be doing some good morning yoga, so nothing too strenuous. We're going to keep it nice and chill, and we're going to move through postures just a little bit slower than usual and hold them a little bit slower than usual as well. So yeah, you can be in your pajamas, that's fine. Maybe grab a coffee before we start. I think I could probably do with another coffee as well. So it's very early, but it's good to get your yoga practice in early. It's a good way to start your day, especially in a time like this where everything's just a little bit hectic. So I'm gonna hang on for a couple minutes and just see who turns up today. But this video, as all my other videos, will be on my Facebook page, so you can come and do this at any point you want for the whole week. So hello to everyone who has just joined me. I feel like I've said everything, and I hope everyone's doing okay as well, and I hope everyone is getting out just for their one piece of exercise a day in the sun. It's important to get outside and to see some sunshine. But yeah, so who's joined me? Hey Nat, how are you? Hi Abby. This is the bit at the beginning of the video where I just smile like a zombie until we start the class. But I know it takes a while for people to tune in, so I want to just give it a couple more minutes. And if you have just joined, what we're doing today is good morning yoga. So it's gonna be kind of like low intensity. We're gonna be doing less postures. We're gonna be moving through them a little bit slower, holding them for a little bit longer. And it's full body, so we're gonna work the whole body. We're gonna get into the hips, hamstrings, shoulders, do some stuff with the back. So yeah, it's a good way to start your day. I'm surprised that so many people are watching 7:30 on a Tuesday morning, mental. But yeah, like I've said before, it's a good way to start your mornings. Bit of yoga sets you up good for the rest of the day. Hey Mum. Mum just joins me for every stream. All this sort of free yoga. All right, morning. So just before we begin, obviously I want to say that this is your practice and you can make it as hard or as easy as you want. If anything hurts, don't do it. That's just use a bit of common sense there, so you can have a rest at any point. But yeah, because it's quite a low intensity class, hopefully nothing's going to be too complicated. We don't really need any props today either, so don't worry about that. We're going to be doing a couple of seated postures to begin with, so you might want a pillow or something. If you find sitting on the floor uncomfortable, you might just want to prop your butt up just a little bit, give you a bit of extra height. And with all these Facebook Live classes, they're donation based, so you don't need to pay anything. But if you did want to contribute a couple of quid, I'll leave my PayPal link in the comments after the video. Hey, right, I think we're gonna start. So good morning yoga, good morning everyone. Well, it's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day to be in a lockdown. So we're just, take it easy. So what I want you to do is come and sit on your mat. So we're gonna be finding a comfortable seated position to start. So this is the point. If sitting on the floor is super uncomfortable, if you have a pillow, just pop a pillow underneath your bum, lift your hips up a little bit. That's gonna help. Or if you have a block, feel free to sit on the block. We're just gonna come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Now, if your knees are really high here, don't worry about it. It just means your hips are a little bit tight. So over time, as we open the hips up, you will be able to find a more comfortable seat. What we're going to do is we're just going to place the hands on the knees. We're going to sit up nice and tall as you can, and we're going to close the eyes, okay? And it's time to just bring the attention into the room. We're starting to slow the breath right down, making the inhales and exhales equal in length. Breathe in through the nose if possible, and I know me, if I wake up in the morning, sometimes I'm just a little bit stuffy, so sometimes breathing through the nose can be tricky. So if that's uncomfortable, feel free to breathe through the mouth, no problem. But just find a steady rhythm that you can maintain. And it's always good to start your day with a couple of deep breaths. It calms you down, especially when everything's just a little bit uncertain. Deep breathing, it's going to bring you back to the present moment, calm your mind, give your brain something to focus on. You might want to take the attention around the body, just notice how you feel, notice if any areas feel a little bit tight. So again, when you practice yoga in the mornings this early, things are going to be a lot tighter. You might not be able to do movements that you usually find easy, that's okay, the body hasn't had much of a chance to wake up yet. And then lastly, just focus on how you're sitting. So sitting like this, if you forget about the posture, you're going to start to round the shoulders and curve the back. But just draw the shoulders together gently. Extend through the crown of the head. So it's like a piece of string is coming out the crown of the head and we're being lifted up. Moving forward on the sit bones, so we're not leaning back. So bringing awareness just to sitting down like this. Again, gives the mind something to focus on, the breath and the posture. Taking a couple more breaths here. Okay, and then you can open your eyes and we're going to begin. So we're going to start very gently. We're going to start by working into the neck and the shoulders a little bit. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your right hand just to the side of the head, left side of the head. You inhale here and you exhale. Just gently draw your right ear down to your right shoulder. So the hand on the head is just adding a little bit of weight. We're not pulling the head down. So you should feel this nice little stretch up the side of your neck, left side. It travels from the left shoulder all the way up. Keeping the breath steady up into the chest. And you can keep the left hand on the knee, but if you want a slightly deeper stretch, you can just bring the left fingertips out to the left and then press the fingertips into the ground. It deepens the stretch, lengthens it. Okay, lovely. Then as you inhale, release the hand. Slowly bring your head back to center, and we'll do the same the other side. So bring your left hand to the right side of the head. You inhale here, you exhale, gently draw your left ear down to the left shoulder. And one side might feel a lot tighter. I sleep curled up in a little ball. So these are really good exercises to do in the morning, especially if you've got a bit of a tendency to sort of like kink your neck when you sleep. And for a deeper stretch, your right fingertips are just going to walk to the right, press the fingertips into the mat, and feel that really lovely stretch around the right shoulder. Okay, and then inhale, slowly back to center. Lovely. This time, we're going to interlace the hands. Place the hands at the back of the head. Inhale here, then as you exhale, we're going to round the back, draw the chin into the chest, and then squeeze your elbows together. So now we're stretching into the back of the neck. Again, don't put too much pressure into the hands. A bit of gentle weight is all we need. And even this might feel quite intense, stretching into the muscles in the back, upper back. Breathing through the nose, holding it for a couple more counts. And then inhale very slowly, just come up. All right, release the hands. You might want to just Give your body a little wiggle. Next thing we're going to do is an easy seated twist. So very, very simple. Again, feel free to prop the bum up if sitting down is becoming a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to take the left hand behind the back. We're going to take the right hand just above the left knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. So move forward on the sit bones, get the spine nice and long. And then as you exhale, very gently, just twist around to the left. And then if it's comfortable for your neck, you're going to turn and look over your left shoulder. Okay, so the right arm is rotate. Gentle pressure to ease the chest round. I want you to roll your left shoulder back. So we're really trying to open up into the left shoulder and the chest here. Trying not to lean back, so constantly bringing the weight forward on the sit bones. Every inhale trying to find some length, and then every exhale just seeing if we can rotate a little bit more, but don't worry if it's not moving. Okay, and then inhale back to center. Lovely, change sides. Right hand behind the back, left hand just above the right knee. You inhale, lift, and you exhale, twist the chest around to the right. Using the left arm to help us rotate, rolling the right shoulder back, and then maybe looking back over that right shoulder if your neck's okay. So a really lovely twist to wake up with. And again, just be conscious, things might feel a little bit this early in the morning. And then inhale back to center, lovely. Give your shoulders a shake, give your body a wriggle. So the last thing we're going to do is a little side stretch and a little fold from seated. So I want you again to interlace your hands and lift them up over your head. Now if your shoulders are happy here, if this is enough of a stretch, you can have the palms facing the head. But if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, we're going to flip the palms to face the ceiling and inhale, really reach those arms up. So usually we want to keep the shoulders away from the ears in yoga, but for this posture we want to get the shoulders as high up as possible and really hug the side of the head with the shoulders. So this is a huge stretch, right from the wrists all the way down the side body to the hips. Take another big inhale here, lengthen, and as you exhale, with control, we're going to side stretch towards the right. Yes, good morning, obliques. So you're going to feel this huge stretch now come into your left side body. It's quite intense, so just breathe through it. Every inhale, just seeing if we can push the palms away a little bit more. You might even start to feel this in your left hip. Hold the tension, nice controlled movements, nice controlled breaths. Okay, and then inhale back to center, and then as you exhale, other side, come over to the left. So try not to come into like a forward fold or a back bend here. Try and imagine the back is up against a wall. So if you don't move very far, that's okay. Better to move with control than sort of like flop into postures. But keep pressing the palms away. Feel that really big stretch up the right side body. And then inhale back to center. Now hold this stretch here. What we're going to do is we're going to come into a little forward fold variation. So take another inhale, reach. And as you exhale, we're going to just drop the hands halfway. Tuck the chin in towards the chest and really curve the back. Okay, so a bit similar to that neck stretch we done. Press the palms, curve the back. Couple breaths here. And then inhale, come back up to center, and then exhale, just release the arms and give the shoulders a shake. So yeah, little movements like that can feel super intense. I'm sure you're doing very well. And we're going to make our way into all fours now, and we're going to come to my absolute favourite posture in the world. If you take my classes, you know what it is. I love a cat-cow. So we're going to move through some cat-cows. Fantastic posture to wake up with. So from all fours, Spread your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet on the mat. Very simply, as you inhale, lift the hips, lift the chest, look forward, little back bend, squeeze the shoulders together. And then as you exhale, round the back, tuck the hips under, chin to chest. Okay, so inhale, lift, so using the breath to guide the movement. Nice, slow, controlled movements. And then exhale, tuck the hips under, push into the hands and feel that stretch come across the upper back and shoulders. So keep going, the whole of your inhale lifts. And then the whole of your slow exhale tucks under. Again, great for mobility of the spine, fantastic for shoulders, back. If you've done a core work, you might even feel a little stretch in your belly on every inhale. And again, if you sleep like me, curled up in a little ball, in the fetal position, then this is going to probably feel quite intense. But you can move as deep into this as you want, or you can make the movements a little bit more shallow. Taking a couple more rounds of this, spreading the fingers. Okay, and then at the end of your next exhale, just come to a flat back. And from here, we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. All right, so getting into the hips a little bit now. So we're going to keep the right knee over the ankle. We're going to keep this right shin stayed sucked into the right arm. The hips are going to stay facing forward. I want you to inhale, stretch the spine forward, lengthen, and then exhale, turn in the waist, raise the right hand and look up. Okay, so a kneeling twist, all four twist here. So all this movement coming from the mid-upper back, the shoulder. So the hips aren't moving, the lower back is stable, and then really reach that right arm up. So we want the left hand to be light on the floor. So we're not overloading into that left wrist. Every inhale, finding some length, stretching the spine forward, and every exhale, really trying to rotate in the chest. And this is a hip posture. You should be feeling something in the top of your right leg, but you might be feeling it elsewhere. Couple more breaths here. Reach the right arm up, keep it strong. And then exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale, look forward, lengthen again. And this time as you exhale, turn in the waist, raise the left hand, look up. This is a little bit more challenging. So you're going to notice that the stretch comes into the inside of the right leg, so the groin area. But we're still trying to keep this left hip pulling forward so the hips haven't twisted. And then the same things apply. Reach the left arm up so the right hand is just light on the floor. Nice, slow, steady breaths, few more moments here. Opening the chest up as much as possible. Just make sure you can see that left hand, so don't hyperextend in the shoulder. And then exhale, bring that left hand down. Amazing. Step back into all fours and we're going to do the other leg. So as you inhale, we're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. So be mindful that your hips haven't twisted, so make sure your hips are facing forward. Your left knee is over the ankle and your right knee is underneath that hip. Same thing, inhale, stretch the spine forward, lengthen, look forward, and then exhale, turn in the waist, left hand comes up. So starting with the slightly, I won't say easier, but the slightly less gnarly version of the posture. Feeling the stretch come into the top of the left leg, and then really reaching the left hand up so the right hand is light on the floor. Noticing how one side feels compared to the other. We usually have a tighter side. Okay, and then exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale, look forward, here we go, and then exhale, turn in the waist, right hand comes up. Also can feel a little bit more wobbly this side, but try and find that balance, try and find that lift. Feeling the stretch come into the left groin this time. a couple more breaths here. And then as you exhale, bring that hand down. Amazing. Step back into all fours. So you're going to come into child's pose now. So feet together, knees as wide as the mat. Sink your bum towards your heels. So get the bum and the heels as close together as possible before you lay the body down, because this is what creates the stretch in the lower back. Now you can stay upright, or you can come onto forearms, or you can come down onto forehead. It really does depend on your body and your hips. But once you're down in your posture, just take a couple of deep breaths. Child's pose, a lovely posture to do in the mornings. Stretches into the hips, the groin, lower back. Okay, and then inhale, make your way back up into all fours. All right, fab. Posture hurts your knee at any point, you can flip your mat over, or I'm sure you've got like a dressing gown or a blanket you can pad the back knee out with. So from an all four position, we're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand again, and we're going to scooch that left knee back. Ooh, good morning hips. So with this posture, to begin with, we're going to keep that right knee over the ankle. The hips are sinking down, so you should feel a stretch in your left hip flexor, so the top of your left leg, also working into the right hip and also working into the groin. So keep the right knee sucked into the arm to begin with, and then try and avoid rounding the shoulders. So we want to squeeze the shoulder blades together and look forward so the chest is open. So the lower body sinks down and the chest opens up. Nice, slow, steady breath. So breathe into it. If you need a rest at any point, you can have a rest. Okay, just notice where you feel the posture. Notice the sensations in the body. And notice how you're breathing. So if at any point your breath becomes a little bit laboured, it's a good sign you've pushed a little bit too far. We're going to be holding this posture for a little while today. And there's no need to rush either. So you can bring the left knee forward if it's feeling a bit intense, and then the longer we hold this posture, you can just scooch the left knee back. You can change your mind. I'm not watching you, so you can move around if you want in it and experiment, no problem. Okay, we're going to hold this for another 5 slow breaths. This version of the posture. So 5, 4, doing really well. 3, keep the chest facing forward, shoulders squeezed back. 2, and 1. Lovely. We're not coming out of the posture, we're either going to hold it here. Now be careful of your right knee with this next step. If your right knee's okay, and if you fancy a deeper stretch, we're going to turn the right foot out about 45 degrees, okay? From here, big inhale, and if you want to deepen the posture as you exhale, let the right knee drop to the right, and the inside of the right foot is going to lift. This is a little bit gruesome for nearly 8 o'clock in the morning. But it's a very good way to start opening up into the hips, and remember, you can change your mind if you want, no problem. But careful of the right knee. If the inside of the foot's lifted, you're going to feel this incredible stretch. It feels like it's right in the hip joint. There's nothing quite like this. Still trying to sink the hips down and lift the chest forward. Okay, and we're going to hold this for 5. Keep breathing. 4, it's like a yin class today, isn't it? 3, 2, and 1. All right, hold it here. If it's getting a little bit gruesome, you can put the foot down and have a rest. Otherwise, if you want to deepen the posture, Maybe you bend your elbows, maybe come down on forearms, but take it easy. There is no rush with this. Find a position you can hold just for a couple more breaths. Okay, this is one of those postures that you need to relax. So we don't really want to be engaging any muscles. It's a passive stretch, but it's super intense. And the more you kind of like fight against your body in it, the kind of more painful it is. So you're trying to relax, let the body sink into it. Let gravity do the work. Let the breath deepen the posture. We'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, very slowly, if you're down on forearms or bent elbows, straight arms. Very slowly, put the right foot down if it's up. The toes face forward, and we're going to take this into a little hamstring stretch. So I want you to take the hips back, walk the hands back as you straighten that right leg. Now the right knee, it can be bent, okay? This is very much dependent on your hamstring. But wherever the leg is, just really work those right toes back so you get that stretch in the calf and the ankle. The hands are just on the floor for support. And then rather than take the hips back to deepen the posture, if you wanted to deepen the posture, think about dropping your chest down and keeping your hips over that left knee. So just drop the head, and we're going to just hold this for a couple of breaths. So again, it might feel quite intense, especially if you've just woken up. Really working into that hamstring. Okay, and then inhale, bring the weight forward, and then just step back into all fours. Do what you need to do for that hip. You can punch the hip. I don't know if that really helps, or give your hips a wiggle. Either way, just sort of like get the blood back to that area. Maybe have a sip of tea. And now we're going to move back to the left side. So we're going to do the same thing. Be mindful that one hip is usually a bit tighter. So from an all-four position, we're going to be stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Scooching that right knee back. Remember, you can pad the knee out if you need to. And to begin with, we don't want to rush. So keep that left knee over the ankle. Keep the toes facing forward. And then roll the shoulders back and keep the chest lifted. For me anyway, is my tight side. So you might want to just move a bit more cautiously if things feel a little bit more resistant. Keeping the breath steady, feeling that stretch in the top of the right leg, hip flexor, left hip, groin, doing really well, just letting the body sink down. And then we're going to hold this posture just for a count of 5, slow breaths. So really trying to sort of do a breath focused practice today. So equal in length and through the nose if possible. 5, 4, 3, doing really well. 2, keep the chest broad, so don't let those shoulders roll forward. And 1, okay, so stay in here. Or if you fancy a deeper stretch, we're going to be turning the left toes out about 45 degrees. Now be mindful of the left knee. Inhale here, then exhale. The left foot comes up. This side is feeling a little bit tight. But this is, like I said, where the breath becomes so important. Just keep breathing. Find a position that you can be still in for a few moments and feel free to change your mind. Okay, we're going to hold this for a count of 5. 4, 3, 2, The slowest count ever, isn't it? And 1. So you can come out the posture if it's getting a bit too much. Stay where you are, or to deepen this stretch, you're bending the elbows, maybe coming down onto forearms. A little bit early for this, but you know I love to give people an option. But wherever you are, we're all feeling the same thing. So if you're not down on your forearms, don't sweat, because we're all on our limit, we're all working to our maximum capacity, and we're all feeling the same intensity of the stretch. So yoga is a real leveler like that. Although our postures look very different, we're experiencing very similar things, which is a very sort of intense, I don't want to say pain because it's not pain, but it is an intense stretch in your left hip. So holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. So slowly come up onto straight arms. If you're on bent arms, bring your foot down, left toes face forward, coming into that hamstring stretch. So walking the hands back as you begin to straighten the left leg as much as it wants to straighten, and then really work those left toes back. Okay? And then to deepen the stretch, if you choose, you think about just dropping your chest down, let the head go. And then feeling that really deep hamstring calf stretch. And then as you inhale, weight comes forward, step the foot back, in all fours, and we're going to make our way into child's pose again and give the hips just time to feel normal again. So feet together, knees as wide as the mat, bum towards heels. And again, staying upright or lowering the forehead down to the floor. And now you can stay in this posture, or we can actually bring a shoulder stretch into this. So if your body's down quite low, what we're going to do is we're going to thread the left arm underneath the right arm, and then we're going to lay at the side of the face, so the left cheek on the floor, and we're going to look right. Okay? So it looks, if you're a bit confused, something like this. So the right arm is down, right shoulder's pressing into the floor, still drawing the bum towards the heels, and then the right cheek is also on the mat. Okay? And then we're crawling the left fingertips forward, and to deepen the stretch, if you want, start drawing your left armpit down to the floor. So you definitely should be feeling something in the right shoulder. Holding it for a couple more breaths. And then as you inhale, we're just going to take that right arm back where it started, and then thread the left arm underneath the right. And then lay the left cheek on the floor. Working into the left shoulder. So a little twist here as well. So you might feel this across the upper back. Again, passive stretch, so not engaging any muscles. And to deepen the stretch, if you want, we're crawling right fingertips forward and then really working the right armpit down. Okay, lovely. And then take the left arm back. Just come into child's pose for a couple more breaths. Alright, and then inhale, just make your way back up into all fours. Fabulous! How are we feeling? A little bit looser? A little bit looser after half hour of morning yoga? Well, that's good, because now we are going to be doing downward dog. So come into all fours, fingers spread, knees hip width apart, tuck the toes, and send the hips up and back. So if you've not done downward dog before, this might feel just a little bit strange. But if you have, just make your way into your downward dog. So remember, you can have the knees bent, you don't need the legs straight. The heels do not have to touch the floor. They can if your hamstrings allow. But remember, in the mornings we are all a little bit tighter. So we're going to make this downward dog pretty chill. We're going to start walking the downward dog, as I've heard some teachers say. We're just going to start to pedal one heel down the floor and then the other. So if you need a rest at any point, have a rest. Otherwise, you can keep pedaling the heels. Maybe move your hips as well. Move your hip back as you draw the heel back. And then I'm not too bothered about the alignment of this downward dog, but just keep the fingers spread and press the hands down into the mat. So if there's a gap underneath your fingers, flatten it. And then don't let the head be tense. So the head is really floppy, it just drops down between the arms. So we're not sort of crinking into the neck. So keep pedaling. Use your breath to guide the movement. So don't be manic with your pedaling. A bit like cat-cow. We're just trying to match the movements with the breath. Really become a bit more conscious so we can start the day right. Okay, a few more rounds of this. Again, if this is feeling a little bit wristy, don't worry, that goes away in a couple of months. Alright, now from here, stop pedaling. Just see if you can draw your thighs a little bit more towards the back of the room. And we're going to hold this for 5 slow, steady breaths. Okay, so 5, maybe tilt your bum up towards the ceiling. 4, head hands down. 3, feeling that stretch all up the back of the legs towards the glutes, lower back. 2, and also strengthening into the shoulders, starting to wake the arms up, the core. And 1. Alright, from here, are you ready? We are going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, the left foot to the outside of the left, and we're going to sink down into a little squat. Yes, can't be morning yoga without a squat. Now, I understand some of the challenges that come with this position. If you need your heels up, you go ahead and have the heels up off the floor. If your hips are a bit tight, or if it's just the morning and you're not quite there yet, balls of the feet fine. If you can get the heels down, great. Whatever. If you need to have the hands on the floor for balance with the heels up, you can do it this way as well. Otherwise, hands in prayer. So the feet are turned out. We're pressing the arms against the legs against the arms to open up into the hips and the groin. Fantastic posture for your lower back. And what I will say is with the squat, there's a real tendency for the shoulders to round and drop forward. Over time, we're trying to lift the shoulders up. Okay? Extend through the crown of the head. Hold it here, nice, slow, steady breaths, doing amazing. Okay, then as you inhale very slowly, we're gonna come up into standing. So push yourself up. Woo! Give your legs a shake. All right, happy hips. And have a drink if you want. I'm gonna have a drink. All right, you're doing very well, everyone. I just want to let you know I'm there for you. I'm supporting you through this. So now we are going to be doing forward folds. So with our forward folds, just bend your knees as much as you need to. The first one we're going to do is called, some people call it ragdoll. So it's a real sort of floppy forward fold, not a lot of effort. So if you stand, feet hip width apart and parallel, take your hands to your hips. You're going to inhale, lift the chest up, lengthen, and then exhale, fold forward. Now bend your knees as much as you need to here. We're going to take hold of the elbows. Before we fold, inhale, look forward again, lengthen, almost like you're going to topple over. And then exhale, hang. All right? Ragdoll. So the body, upper body, is very floppy. The shoulders are just sinking down towards the ears. The neck is relaxed. No effort in the head. And then the only thing we really want to do is just sort of see if we can move the weight forward so we're not sinking back too heavy in the hips. Nice, slow, conscious breaths. Maybe, if you fancy it, you can sort of shake about. Some people like to find some movement here, other people don't. It's your practice, your body. And as well as working into the backs of the legs, we're doing this predominantly today, this morning, for your lower back. So just feeling any tension release here. Taking a couple more moments. And then as you inhale, look forward. Exhale, hands to hips with bent legs. Inhale, slowly come up. And then give your legs a shake. So we're going to repeat that posture, or this time we're going to bring a shoulder stretch into it by interlacing the hands behind the back. Now as we fold forward, you're more than welcome to lift the hands away from the back. Now if you have back problems, I would suggest you just do the repeat and bend the knees generously. If you're going to give this one a go, feet hip width apart and parallel, interlace your hands behind the back. So really squeeze the shoulders together like you're trying to smush something between them. Then from here, you inhale, lift, bent legs as you exhale, fold. Okay, it's always better to be cautious. You can straighten the legs later if you need to. Then once you're down in your forward fold, as long as you feel stable, you can inhale, take the arms up, overhead, and then now we're working into lower back, backs of the legs, shoulders, chest. Deep breaths, keep the head relaxed. Again, some people like to sway here. I don't, but it's up to you, whatever you choose to do. And eventually over time, we're looking at getting the belly and the thighs close together. So it's more important to have that contact than it is to have the legs dead straight. Few more moments here. Lovely job. And then very slowly, bring the hands to the lower back, bent legs, inhale, come up. Oof, give your shoulders a shake. So it's a bit of a, because obviously it's quite early and I imagine we haven't had our breakfast yet, sometimes a bit of a tendency to get a little bit lightheaded. So just take it slow when you're flipping. Come to the front of your mats, feet together. We're nearly there, you're doing a fab job. On your next inhale, we're going to take a step out to the right. Big step. We're going to turn the left foot in, and then we're going to turn the right foot 90 degrees, and we're going to bend the right knee. Okay, so you want to feel stable through the feet, so make sure you're setting the posture up. We want the right heel to hit the mid-arch of the left foot. And then it's quite early, so don't worry if you need to stay a bit higher, but we've worked quite a lot with the hips today, so if possible, sink those hips down. Trying to get the right thigh relatively parallel to the floor. Okay, so from here, take your arms wide. You want the hips to be square to the long side of the mat. Inhale here, then as you exhale, reach to the right and place your right hand on the inside of the right foot. This is a bit gnarly, isn't it, for the morning? All right, so the right hand's on the inside of the right foot. We're sinking the weight down, so trying to get that right thigh parallel. Pressing down through the outside edge of that left foot as well. And then on your next inhale, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Woo! All right. So this is quite a strong posture, but you know, we want to wake up a little bit. You're going to feel this really big stretch in your right hip, inside of the right thigh, so the groin area. Hold it here. Couple more deep breaths. Doing really well. So opening the chest up, reaching the left hand up so the right hand's light on the floor. Make sure you can see that left palm. Okay, and then from here look down, and then we're going to place the left hand to where the right hand is. And then as you inhale, we're going to raise the right hand, look up. So taking it into a twist. Keep pressing down through the outside edge of that back foot. Keep sinking deep into the right hip. Right knee bends. Reaching the right arm up. Okay, and then exhale, bring that right hand down. Inhale, raise the left arm up again. One breath here. And then inhale, push yourself back up. Alright, I'm with you here. So right foot in, left foot faces the back of the room, sink down. So setting the feet up first, so making sure the feet are nice and planted. Getting that left thigh as parallel as possible. Hips square to the long side of the mat. Inhale, then exhale, reach in. Left hand to the inside of the foot. And your right arm comes up. Alright? So feeling that stretch in the left hip. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Don't lose that rhythm. Noticing how one side feels compared to the other. Holding it here. Okay, then exhale, right hand down. Twist, left hand up. Okay. This is obviously my tighter side. Doing really well. So really strengthening into the legs and opening up into the hips now. Okay, then exhale, bring that hand down. Inhale, right arm up for one. And then push yourself back, up, into standing. And then step to the front of your mat. That wasn't very graceful of me. But yeah, like I said, you might be noticing how more, that this is way more challenging than it would be if we done it at 7:30 in the evenings. But a good way to start the day. So come to the front of your mat, feet together, legs together, nearly there. So as you inhale, swoop your arms up, look up. Going to move through a sun salutation into seated. Then as you exhale, fold. Okay, so drop the head, bend the knees as much as you need to. As you inhale, look forward, lengthen. Then exhale, step back to plank. Just hold your plank. Okay, we haven't really done much strength stuff today, but we're just going to hold this plank for a couple of breaths. So trying to create a straight line from the crown of the head all the way down to the heels, arms strong, cores engaged. Now turn the inside of the elbows to face forward, and then exhale, lower down to a very low press up or the floor, elbows in. Inhale, a back bend, tops of the feet, shoulders back. Then exhale, downward facing dog, hold your downward dogs. Nice, slow, steady breaths. Okay, then from downward dog, you're making your way into seated. You can jump, you can hop, you can jump through. And we made it into seated, lovely. So a couple more postures. Seeing as we've gone for like a hip vibe today, we're gonna just finish with some more hip stuff. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit up nice and tall, both legs straight. We're gonna take the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. So Janu Shasasana A. So keep your right knee out at 90 degrees, your left foot straight, your left toes pull back. Now you're going to notice that your chest is like veered off to the side, little rotation around to the left to line the chest up with the left shin. From here, reach forward, take anywhere up the leg or the foot, you can bind. You're going to inhale, look forward again, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. So this is head to knee pose, so it just gives you a direction of the idea of the direction we're moving in. So don't worry if you've not folded very far, that's not important. What's more important is to bring a sort of consciousness and mindfulness to every movement we do. So flex the right toes on the floor, so pull the right toes back. We're trying to ground through the right hip, be careful of that knee. And with any forward fold, we lead with the chest. So rather than just thinking about coming down, you really want to think about pulling the chest forward towards the shin. Keep your shoulders level, keep your breath steady. Hold it here, couple more beats, doing really well. Okay, and then as you inhale, look forward. And exhale, come up to seated. Hold this position. So the right foot is still on the inside of the left thigh. Now this might be a little bit tricky, but we'll see what happens. I want you to now lift your right foot up and over to the outside of your left hip. So this is half cow, all right? So yin posture. So we're trying to get the right knee on top of the left. I've got a bit of a gap, don't worry. Some people want to bring their right foot forward so it's not right by the side of the left hip. You can do that if this is a bit challenging. Either way, wiggle about, see if you can get the knees as stacked as possible. Oh, be careful of this one because it's quite a deep twist, fold, sorry. Then from here, as you inhale, we're going to lift the arms up. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold forward. So we're laying the weight of the body down on that right leg, which in turn creates probably one of the biggest hamstring stretches I've ever felt in the left leg. Hands can just relax either side of the left leg, let the head drop, keep the breath steady. So really intense hamstring stretch. Internal rotation of the right hip, which is not a movement we work with a lot, so quite important to do if we want like full mobility of the hip. Nice slow breaths, just a couple more moments here. Really work those left toes back. Again, just try and relax into the posture, letting go of any sort of engaged muscles, any tension. And then as you inhale, slowly come up. Very well done. Let's change sides. So right leg straight. Left foot on the inside of the right thigh. So come into Janu Shirsasana A first. So you want that left knee 90 degrees. Don't try and push that left knee down, let it be. Then rotate, chest to face right shin. Take anywhere up leg. You losing the sentences now. And then you inhale, lift, and you exhale, fold. Remember, forward and down rather than just down. Just pulling back towards the waist so the neck has room. And then you might feel this in loads of different places, but over time what we're aiming at is to feel a sort of a sensation in the left hip. So trying to root that left hip down. If I were to adjust you, I would come put my hand in your left hip crease and pull it down. So it gives you an idea that we've got two opposing movements going on. Left hip pulls down while chest propels forward. Keep the shoulders level, breath steady, right toes working back. Okay, then as you inhale, look forward, straighten the arms, release the posture, hold it here. Gonna come into that half cow posture. So now we're picking up the left foot and placing it to the outside edge of the right hip. Wriggle about and see if you can stack that left knee on top of the right knee as much as possible. But don't worry if you need to bring that left foot forward a bit and that knee's a bit higher. Now you can sit upright. If this is where you're at, if you're on your edge, you stay here. If you want a deeper stretch, you can inhale, lift, arms up. Exhale, lay the body down over that left leg. Big old stretch in the right hamstring. Let the head go, let the breath be steady. And then there's nothing really left to do in this posture apart from release the tension in the shoulders. Work the right toes back if you want a deeper stretch in the calf. And then as you inhale, very slowly just pick yourself back up, come into seated. And then come down onto your backs, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. Make big circles or small circles. You can actually take the knees and make sort of separate circles with the knees if you want to work into the hips a bit more, although we have done a lot of that today, so I don't blame you if you don't want to. Either way, just giving the lower back a bit of a massage here. And then bring both feet to the floor. So we're just going to finish with a lion twist. So take your arms wide, palms down. We're going to stack our right knee on top of the left. So the right knee is like glued on top of the left. Then we're going to move our butt over towards the right ever so slightly. Just gives us a bit more room, so we can inhale here and then exhale, let the legs fall over towards the left. Okay. So if you have the room, take your arms out wide, palms down. You can also goalpost the arms like I'm doing if you haven't got the room. From here, you're going to turn and look over your right shoulder. And this is a very passive lion twist. So there is no effort to get the legs down. We're not engaging any muscles. The right hip will probably lift if your legs come towards the left far enough. And then it's one of the deeper lion twists we do. So you're going to feel this in a nice way in your lower back, maybe right glute, right hip. Nothing left to do apart from breathe. Okay, and then as you inhale very slowly, bring the knees back to center. Square the hips up and uncross your legs. We're going to do that the other side. So just stack your left knee on top of your right. Move your butt over towards the left ever so slightly so we have room. To inhale here and exhale, legs are going to come over towards the right as far as they want to go. And then turn and look over your left shoulder. So the only thing we want to make sure of in this posture is that left shoulder stays down. So if you feel your body has fallen over to the right, so that left shoulder lifts, you need to bring the legs back to center a bit more. Otherwise we just lose the stretch. But apart from that, really just letting any tension go. Okay, and then inhale back to center. Right, uncross your legs. So ready for Shavasana now. You can have your knees bent if your back feels a bit sensitive. You can have your legs straight. Or, if you don't want to do Shavasana, you can do a reclined bound angle, which is soles of the feet together, knees fall out sideways. Either way, wherever you are, just place the hands a little way away from the body, palms up. You can have the eyes open or close the eyes. So this is good morning yoga. We're not going to stay here all that long. Don't want to put you back to sleep. But we're going to spend a minute or so just letting the body settle after all the postures we've done. So really a full body kind of class today, but with a special focus on hips. And because we're spending a little bit more time indoors, our hip flexors, our hips, psoas, which is it's like the deepest core muscle, it's all going to get very tight. So the kinds of postures we've done today, we want to be coming back to regularly to counteract a lot of sitting. You might want to take a couple of deeper breaths here. You might want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or you might just want to let your breath come back to normal. Take the attention around the body. Notice how you feel. And then at a risk of getting all yoga, you might even want to set an intention for the day. You might want to sort of think about how you want your day to be, how you want to approach it. Okay, lovely. Then if your knees are apart, very slowly bring your knees together. Everyone take their legs down the mat, point the toes, arms overhead, lengthen. So take a cat stretch here. Good morning stretch. And then exhale, hug your knees into your chest, rock from side to side one last time. And then when you're ready, you can make your way up to seated. Well done, good morning yoga. All right, well I hope you feel better, hope you feel a bit more stretched out, and like I said, this class is going to be up on my Facebook page for the whole week. So if you didn't get to join me anytime this week, and then it will be deleted at the weekend. All right, so I'm gonna hop off. Amazing job. Have a lovely day, and just give me a shout if you need anything. All right, see you later.